Hello, Lorraine here. Welcome, and I hope everyone's doing well out there in the world. It's just amazing to me that these videos on YouTube just go everywhere in the world, and that some of my subscribers are in wonderful exotic places in this beautiful world of ours. My name is Lorraine, and today we're going to focus on eye makeup for the mature woman. Now, first of all, I'm going to start with my SOTD, my scent of the day, which today is Still by Jennifer Lopez. This is a gorgeous floral fragrance that was released in 2003, and it has unique notes of Earl Grey tea, mandarin orange, apple, jasmine, lily of the valley, honeysuckle, orange blossom, musk, iris, sandalwood, and amber. Now you can see the beautiful bottle. The glass is cut here in the front, and it's just a lovely perfume, and it's my SOTD. Today I have done my skincare, which means cleansing and vitamin C serum, a moisturizer, and sunscreen. And I've also applied my facial makeup just to save time, basically. So I have foundation and powder, just a light dusting of powder on my face. I haven't yet put on my blush. I haven't used bronzer today, and I will put on my lipstick at the very end because I basically wanted to just focus on eye makeup. So this is a look that we're going to get ready together, and I'm going to show you what I would do. You know, I am not a makeup artist. I'm not an expert. This is not a tutorial in any way. I'm not qualified to teach anybody anything about makeup application. This is just what I've discovered works for me. And the funny thing is, every time I do my makeup, I do it differently every day anyway. Even if I find something that works for me, I just like to try something different the next day. That's how I have fun with makeup. What I've been using lately instead of eye makeup or eyelid primer is a concealer, simply because I have many concealers and I really don't use it for the purpose that it was intended. So I'm using it as a primer on my eyelids, and it works very well, actually. I just sort of press it in with this little soft sponge, and it provides a nice base for the eyeshadow. I've been using an eye cream lately for about 6 weeks, and I didn't for the longest time. I just used my regular moisturizer around my eyes. But at one point, I found that the skin around my eyes was getting really, really dry. So I found a couple of eye creams that I use for a fairly moderate price. And I do find, now I would never expect an eye cream to remove my wrinkles or, now, in all fairness, it might have decreased the darkness under my eyes, but I wouldn't expect it to remove my bags or anything like that. But it certainly did moisturize the skin around my eyes. So it's not at all dry now, and it'll be part of my skincare routine twice a day. What I'm using is the Sephora liquid shadow, and I always put just a little bit under the eyebrows just to lighten up that area. And I like this color. It's not pure white, because I find white is just too stark, really. And so I'm going to blend this in. Just move it right under the eyebrows. I have hooded eyes, so, you know, doing all kinds of fancy shading and everything is, especially with 75-year-old eyes, is just not really appropriate for me. But on the other hand, you'll see today that I am going to attempt to create a bit of a transition area despite my hooded eyes. And this is a technique that I've learned from other makeup artists. So that works well. Blends right in there. So what I'm going to use is this e.l.f. Velvet Touch eyeshadow. This is really beautiful. Look at those colors. Now, the only one that kind of spooks me a bit is this one here. I don't know if it's green or what it is, green or gold or whatever it is, but I thought I would use that one today just to sort of add a little bit of shimmer to the middle of my eye. So we'll see how that goes. But otherwise, they're I think they're all shimmer shades actually, which is not necessarily my favorite, but I'm going to go for it today. I figure that, as mature women, we can decide to put whatever we want on our eyes. And if we want to glitter and sparkle and shimmer on our eyes, no problem. So I'm going to start with this shade right here. I'll put that all over my lid. And this has a wonderful texture. It feels like a cream, and it goes on like a cream, but it dries very quickly into a powder. So it's quite lovely. Now, I don't go right into the corner of my eyes here because there's some dark shadowing there, and I never want to emphasize that. So and I always move the shadow up and out, never down, because that would drag the eye down. And that would apply to anybody, not only older women. I think, anyway. I think it's a nicer look to pull the eye up a bit. So there you go. So I have a little bit of shimmer there, and I'll do the other eye off camera. Now I'm going to take a little bit of this dark shade here, and I'm going to use a smaller brush because I want to place this on the outer corner of my eyes and then work it up so that I can kind of create a bit of I'm going to just go up there, and I'm going to go above the crease. Because of my hooded eyes, I just need to create the crease. So I'm just going to very, very delicately with this small brush, and you can see I just have to add a little bit more. And then I'm going to take a bigger brush. This is a really nice blending brush from It Cosmetics. I've had this for years. And just blend that in. So that creates a bit of a crease there. And I'll do the other eye off camera. Well, that's a very subtle crease, I must say, but I'm always looking for a natural look. I would rather sort of underdo things than overdo things. That's just my own particular style. So I'm going to take a little bit of this one on my finger, and then the warmth of my finger will just allow me to just press that into the middle of my eye. Oh my, that's kind of a different color, isn't it? Well, that's kind of different. I'm not sure about that, but I'm staying home today, so I don't really have to think about it too much. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? Is it green or is it gold? That's kind of an unusual color. I'm going to blend this in with this fluffy brush, sort of blend the whole thing in together. Because I don't want any lines of demarcation. That is the key to eye makeup, in my opinion, right? So we'll go with that for now. And now I'm going to put some liner in my upper waterline. And this is something that I just recently learned about. I had never done this, except in the last year or so. And it took a while to get used to this. And I have to say, this Maybelline Skinny Gel liner in black is the absolute best. I have many liners, and a lot of them go on really well. But for me, the test is if it's going to transfer, if the black is going to transfer onto the lower waterline, because I don't really want that. But this one goes on and it just stays right on there all day long. And if it transfers at all, it transfers very little compared to others. So this is really my go-to. This one I could depend on. If I was going out to a big occasion, this is the one I would select, that I could feel confident all day long that I would continue to look my best and not have to worry about that black transferring to the bottom waterline, which is not attractive on me anyway. And it goes on very smoothly. It is a gel, but it's quite liquid. So I really like this one. And then I will put a very small shaded line under my lower lashes just to outline my eye. And I stick to the outer 2/3 of my eye. Again, I don't do anything in this area. I just don't bother with that area at all. So I just want a little bit of shading there. I've tried to apply a dark eyeshadow with one of those little brushes, but I just have too many wrinkles for that. It doesn't work. And even this is a bit of a challenge. I just am barely touching the skin. But that works to give a little bit of an outline to my eyes. And of course, next is going to be the brows. For many years, I did not even put any color at all on my brows because I wore glasses all the time. And I just figured, well, nobody could see my brows, so why worry about them? But when I had corrective laser eye surgery, when I was 60 years old, well, it kind of changed my life. Wow, there were my eyes for everybody to see. So it was really almost then that I started to really enjoy the options for eye makeup, and certainly for brows. Now, I never did really pluck my brows. They're a pretty good shape. Every now and then, if there's a really annoying stray one, I will pluck it, but in general, no, I don't. Lately, I've been using a gray eyebrow pencil because I just feel that that is a more appropriate color to go with my white hair. And this one is, I will list and link all these products for you down below, by the way. But this is a really nice one. And again, I'm always just going for a natural look. I don't want my brows to look as if they're drawn on or anything like that. And so that's just about as much as I would do with my brows. And I'll do the other one off camera. There are many clear brow gels on the market, which are intended to just wipe through the brow and then just to keep the stray hairs in place. And this is another option to use, and I've used this over the years. I think this is about the 4th time I've purchased this. It's a wax pencil by e.l.f. I think it costs about $4, and it just really does the trick. It's very quick and easy, and I just wipe that through the brows before I put the color on them. Next is mascara. Well, this is where I have an anxiety attack every single day because, oh, you never know what the lashes are going to do. And both my eyes are so different. They're kind of a different shape, and the folds and the creases are in different areas, and so it's really a challenge. Now, this one that I'm using is L'Oreal Volumise. It's pretty good, and it's going on pretty nicely today. This eye is always much easier and more predictable than the other eye. So if I'm going to make a mistake, so if I'm going to put some on my eyelid, it'll be the other eye. Although I did on this eye as well today. But no worries, we'll get that off. I have yet to find the perfect mascara. I don't even mind spending, $35, $40 if I could find the perfect mascara. And I have done that, spent a lot of money, and then been so disappointed because it was not the perfect mascara. So if you have any suggestions, please leave them down below because I'm still in search. Now, I always have to hold my breath when I'm doing this eye. The lashes are not as curly. I think they're probably the same length as the other eye, but they just don't work the same. And I'm just holding my breath. So far, so good, actually. But if I do make a mistake, the trick is to leave the mascara dry on your eyelid for a good 2 minutes. And then you can take a little brush, and I'll show you in a moment, and just the color will flake off. Very easy peasy. But that's pretty good today. So I do have a little mistake to correct on the other side. So I'm just using this little brush, but you can use any similar little brush. And there's a little bit you can see on there, and I'm just going to scrape it off. It comes off easy. So there you go. I'm putting a little bit of mascara on the lower lashes. And I bought this a few weeks ago. This is Mega Length by Wet n Wild. Mega Length by Wet n Wild. And I selected it because of the brush. The brush is nice and skinny because I find that that's easier to maneuver on lower lashes. So what I do is focus sort of in the middle of my eye, just barely touch those lashes. And so far, this mascara is working well for that purpose. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, give it a thumbs up. And by the way, I'm very close to 700 subscribers. I can't believe it. I would love to, before the 1st of May, to have 700 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed, please do so. I'm going to go and put my blush on and my lipstick, and I'll be right back. For me, makeup makes a lot of difference. Even just a touch of brow pencil and mascara. To me, those are the basics, but it really makes a lot of difference. It just makes your whole face pop and just look bright and shiny and alive, and that's how we should be in our older years, just having a great time in this world of ours. Thank you very much for joining me, as always, and I will see you next time. Love to everyone.